The freezing wind cut across the alien forest like a knife. Tall black trees stood in long rows, their branches glowing with blue fireflies that moved without sound. The ground was wet, soft, and full of strange footprints. Footprints that did not belong to any human. Evan walked slowly between the trees, shivering, his breathing unsteady. His small emergency light was dying. His hands were shaking. His shuttle had crashed 2 hours ago, and he was the only one who survived. Every step he took made the feeling of danger grow heavier. He kept hearing something behind him. Not a normal animal. Not something small. Something big. The forest floor trembled whenever it moved. At first, Evan told himself it was just fear. Just imagination. But the feeling refused to disappear. The heavy sound came again. Tum, tum, tum. As if someone huge was walking behind him. He turned around quickly, but the dim blue mist showed nothing. Hello? His voice echoed weakly. No answer. But he could feel it. Presence. Something watching him. Something waiting. Evan swallowed hard, hugged himself tightly for warmth, and pushed forward. His emergency light flickered again. If the light died, he knew he would be blind in the glowing mist. He did not want to think about what was hiding there. He kept walking faster now, breathing louder, the footsteps behind him growing stronger. Then the ground shook. He froze. Not a small shake, a deep one, like something powerful landed behind him. He slowly turned his head. A massive shadow fell over him. For a moment, Evan could not breathe. His legs felt weak. His mind screamed to run, but his body refused to move. The shadow bent down slowly, and he saw 2 silver eyes glowing through the mist. Eyes large, calm, but also dangerous. The creature stepped into the soft blue light. It was not a beast. It was a woman, a giant alien woman. She was more than twice his height, maybe even 3 times. Her skin was dark blue with faint glowing lines like liquid metal. Her hair was long and braided with metal rings. She wore pieces of armor that looked old, cracked, but still strong. A long spear was strapped to her back, and her hands were big enough to crush a human skull with ease. Evan stepped back in fear. The woman spoke, her voice deep but strangely gentle. You should not walk alone in this forest, human. Evan blinked. She spoke clean, clear English. How do you know my language? He asked, trying not to fall. She took another step closer. He could feel the ground shake again. I learned it a long time ago, she replied. Before the war ended. Before my clan died. Evan's fear slowly changed into confusion. She was not attacking. Not even raising a weapon. She studied his face intensely, then his small light, then his shaking hands. You are cold, she said. You will not survive the night. Evan tried to stand tall but failed. I can manage. No, she said firmly. Humans are small and weak on this world. You were not made for this cold. She paused, her silver eyes softening. Come with me. Evan stepped back again. Why? Why are you following me? Her expression changed. Something serious, something heavy came over her face. She looked down at him as if she was choosing her next words very carefully. My name is Vora, she finally said. I am the last widow of the Titan clan. Evan said nothing, not knowing how to respond. Vora continued. My people were warriors, strong, proud. But now, they are gone. Her voice tightened slightly. And my husband is dead. Evan opened his mouth slightly. He wanted to say sorry, but she continued before he could speak. There is one way for my clan to live again, she said slowly. A new bloodline, a new start. Her eyes locked onto his. And humans create powerful children with Titan women. Evan felt his heart stop for a second. He understood now. He shook his head slowly. What are you saying? Vora stepped closer. Her shadow covered him completely. Her voice dropped to a whisper, deep and steady. I need a husband, she said. And you? She touched his chest gently with one giant finger. You need protection, food, warmth, and life. Evan felt his breath shake. She was not joking. Not even a little. You want me, he whispered, to rebuild my clan? Vora finished for him calmly. Yes. Evan stepped back again, but his foot slipped on the wet ground. He fell, landing hard. Vora instantly reached out, her hand closing around his upper arm. Her grip was huge but gentle. She lifted him easily, like he weighed nothing. You think I want to harm you? She asked, tilting her head. If I wished to kill you, you would already be dead. That did not make him feel better. Vora slowly removed her hand. I saved you earlier, she added. Evan frowned. What do you mean? A shadow beast was stalking you when your shuttle crashed, she said. It wanted to eat you. I killed it before it could. Evan stared at her, stunned. You saved me? I didn't even see it. That is because you are small and slow. Vora said it like a simple fact, not an insult. Evan looked down at his shaking hands. She was right about one thing. He would not survive the night alone. But becoming a giant alien widow's husband? That was insane. Vora lowered herself to one knee. The ground shook gently. Her face was now closer to his level, her silver eyes calm and patient. I will not force you, she said. But if you stay alone, you will die. The cold will kill you, or the beasts, or the rival clan that hunts me. Evan's chest tightened. Our rival clan? He whispered. Before Vora could answer, a loud, horrible roar echoed through the forest. The trees shook. Birds made of glowing crystals flew into the sky in panic. The blue mist twisted violently. Vora stood fast, her hand reaching for her spear. It followed us, she said quietly. The beast that hunts humans. Evan's fear exploded. What do we do? Vora looked down at him. Her voice was steady. You choose, she said. Stay with me and live. She pointed toward the darkness where the roar came from. Or run alone and die. Evan stared into her eyes. The ground shook again. The beast was close, too close. He didn't have time to think. He stepped toward Vora. I choose you, he said. Vora nodded once, strong and proud. Good, she said. Hold on. Then she grabbed him, lifted him easily into her arms and ran. The forest exploded behind them as the beast broke through the trees. And part one ends here. The forest flew past them in a blur of blue mist and black trees. Vora ran like a storm. Fast, powerful, unstoppable. Evan held tightly around her neck, feeling every heavy step shake his bones. Behind them, the monstrous roars kept echoing, growing louder, closer, hungrier. Evan dared to look back. The beast was huge, taller than a human house. Its body was covered in long dark spines that glowed with sick green light. 6 legs, each ending in sharp claws. A jaw filled with rows of teeth that looked like broken metal. Every time it breathed, steam rose into the cold air. Evan's blood turned to ice. It's gaining on us, he shouted. Vora didn't slow down. I know, she said in her deep, calm voice. It smells human fear. It will not stop. She jumped over a fallen tree, her feet landing with a heavy thud. Evan felt her muscles move like steel cords under her skin. She was strong, stronger than anything he had ever seen. But even she was breathing harder now. Hold tight, she said. Evan tightened his grip. Vora suddenly changed direction, running toward a slope that led down into darkness. Evan couldn't see anything below. Is that safe? He asked nervously. No, Vora said, but safer than the beast. That was not comforting. She leaped into the darkness. For a moment, Evan felt weightless, falling. The cold air rushed around them. Then the ground rushed up. Vora landed hard but stable, her legs bending like springs. Evan gasped. She didn't lose balance even once. The beast landed above them, roaring. Its claws dug into the ground as it searched for a path to follow. Vora used the moment to run deeper into the lower valley. The trees here were older, thicker, and covered in glowing vines. Strange birds flew overhead with mirror-like wings. Evan was shaking. What is that thing? A shadow hunter, Vora answered. They live in deep forests. They hunt using smell and sound. They love human meat. Evan felt sick. Why human? Your blood has energy, she said. Warm, bright, easy for them to sense. That's terrible. That is life on this world. Evan was quiet for a moment. The beast roared again. Vora didn't slow down, but her breathing grew heavier. She was wounded. Evan saw a long cut across her thigh where the forest branches had torn into her. Her dark blue skin was bleeding glowing silver blood. You're hurt, Evan said. It is nothing. It doesn't look like nothing. She gave a small grunt that might have been a laugh. You worry too much, little human. Because I don't want to die. And you will not. I gave you my promise. Her voice was firm, almost protective. Evan looked up at her face. She wasn't scared. Not even a little. She looked like a warrior ready for anything. But she was still bleeding. Where are we going? He asked. To the old bunker, she said. Human soldiers built it long ago, during the Titan-Human alliance. It is hidden, strong, safe. Safe sounded good. Very good. But, she added, the beast will not give up easily. Not good. Very not good. After several more minutes of running, the trees opened into a small clearing. In the center stood a half-buried metal structure covered in dirt, vines, and broken armor pieces. It looked old, very old, but still strong. Vora walked to the metal door, pushed aside a heavy bush, and tapped a panel. The door opened with a slow groan. Inside, she said. Evan rushed in. The bunker interior smelled like rust and dust. But it was warm inside, dry. There were old human machines, metal crates, and flickering lights that somehow still worked. Vora followed him in and closed the door. She placed a metal bar across it. Then she sighed deeply and leaned against the wall. Evan stepped closer. Your leg. Vora looked down at the long cut. It will heal. But it's still bleeding. Vora watched him curiously. Humans care a lot. It's called being a decent person, Evan muttered. She gave a soft smile. It looked strange on a giant warrior, but kind too. Evan looked around the bunker. What is this place? A safe house. Humans built these when they first came to our world. Many Titan warriors fought beside humans once. Side by side. Evan's eyebrows rose. Humans and Titans were allies? Yes, Vora said. Long before you were born. What happened? War, she said simply. A war that destroyed everything. Evan felt sad for her. Your husband died in that war? Vora nodded slowly. He was a brave man. Strong. Loyal. But the enemy was stronger. My clan fell. I ran with the last women and children. But even they died later. Her voice lowered. I am alone now. Evan sat on a broken metal crate. I'm sorry. Vora looked at him with her silver eyes. I do not want your sorrow. I want a future. A new clan. A new life. Then she added calmly, and you can give me that. Evan blushed, looking away. Can we talk about that later? He muttered. Vora tilted her head. Does it frighten you? Yes, Evan said. You're giant. Strong. And you want me to be your husband. You think this is strange? She asked. Yes. But to me, she said softly, it is natural. That made him quiet. Before he could answer, a loud crash shook the bunker walls. The shadow hunter had found them. Evan jumped in fear. Vora stood immediately, grabbing her long spear. The beast roared outside. His claws scratched the metal door. Evan whispered, It's here. It's here. Vora stood tall. Stay behind me. The beast slammed its body into the door again. The metal bent inward. Dust fell from the ceiling. Evan covered his head. Vora. The door won't hold. It will, she said. Slam. The door bent further. Okay, maybe it won't, Vora said calmly. What do we do? Evan cried. Fight. Vora answered simply. Before Evan could react, the metal door tore open with a scream of twisting steel. The giant beast forced its way inside, snarling, drooling. its glowing eyes fixed on the human inside. Evan gasped and stumbled back. The beast lunged. Vora moved like lightning. She slammed her spear into the beast's mouth, stopping it in midair. The impact shook the entire bunker. The beast screamed and thrashed, trying to break free. Evan watched in horror and awe. Vora pushed harder, her muscles bulging, her teeth clenched. But the beast was strong, too strong. It broke the spear shaft. Vora flew back and hit the wall hard. Vora! Evan ran to her. The beast turned toward Evan, jaws open. Evan grabbed a metal pipe lying on the ground. It was stupid, crazy, hopeless, but he had no choice. He swung the pipe at the beast's leg. Clang! The creature shrieked and turned toward him. Evan, move! Vora roared. But Evan didn't run. He spotted something behind the beast, an old human energy panel still glowing faintly. Plan hit him like lightning. He ran toward the panel. The beast chased him. Vora threw a broken metal crate at the creature to slow it down, but the beast kept coming. Evan reached the energy panel, opened it, and saw a red switch. He pulled it. A burst of electricity exploded through the floor, hitting the metal plates under the beast. The shadow hunter screamed as electricity ran through its body. Vora took the chance. She grabbed a sharp metal beam, jumped onto the beast's back, and drove the metal straight into its skull. The beast collapsed. The bunker fell silent. Evan slid down against the wall, shaking. Vora stood over the dead beast, breathing hard. She walked slowly toward Evan, kneeled down, and touched his shoulder gently. "You fought bravely," she said softly. "Small, but brave." Evan swallowed. "We're alive." The cold night grew darker as the deep drumbeats echoed across the valley. Slow, heavy, powerful beats, each one shaking the ground and sending a warning through the air. Evan stood near the bunker entrance, his heart pounding. "Vora, what is that sound?" Vora's silver eyes narrowed as she listened carefully. Her tall frame stiffened like a warrior ready for battle. "It is the rival Titan clan," she said in a serious tone. "They have found our trail." Evan felt a cold wave wash over him. "There are more of those giant warriors?" "Many," she said. "And they are strong, brutal. They want me dead." Her eyes lowered slightly. "And they will take you." Evan swallowed hard. "Why me?" "Because you are human," she said. "Your bloodline makes powerful children. They want you for themselves." Evan felt sick. "That's horrible." "That is their way," Vora said softly. "They want power, not family." She turned and picked up a broken piece of metal, sharpening its edge. "I will not let them take you." Evan watched her. She was huge, strong, deadly, but there was sadness in her eyes too. She wasn't fighting only for herself. She was fighting for a future. And for him. Outside, the drumbeats grew louder. Fires lit the hills in a wide circle. Shadows moved between the trees. Many shadows, armored, armed, and marching. Evan's hands started to shake. "How many are there?" Vora closed her eyes for a moment. "I hear at least 20. 20? Evan gasped. "Vora, that's too many," she said calmly. "Yes." Evan stared at her in fear. "Can you beat them alone?" "No." Her honesty hit him like a punch. "But," she added, turning toward him, "we do not need to face them in open battle. We can fight smart." Evan blinked. "Smart? You are human," she said. "Humans win with strategy, traps, and courage. Titans win with strength. If we use both, we survive." Evan nodded slowly, feeling a spark of hope. "What do you need me to do?" Vora placed her giant hand on his shoulder, gentle yet firm. "You help me think. You help me plan. You help me fight." Evan's breath caught in his chest. He had never been needed like this before, not by anyone. He nodded. "Then let's plan." Inside the bunker, they walked around quickly, searching for anything useful. Old human crates filled with wires, rusted weapons, energy cells with faint lights, metal plates, heavy machinery. Evan crouched near an old panel. "This still works." Vora watched him closely. "What are you thinking?" "Explosions," he said. Loud ones. Vora raised an eyebrow. You want to blow up the bunker? No. Evan smiled slightly. I want to blow up them. Vora's lips curved in a proud smile. You truly are human, she said. Clever. They gathered wires, unstable energy cells, and broken machines that could still spark. Evan worked fast, connecting wires, placing cells, rigging triggers. Vora watched him with admiration growing in her eyes. You were not a soldier, she said. But you think like one. My father fixed machines, Evan said. He taught me everything. And now his teachings may save us both. Evan felt warmth spread in his chest. When they finished preparing the traps, Vora led him outside. The night was full of firelight. Titan warriors moved like giants through the forest, their armor shining red in the glow. They will come from 3 sides, Vora whispered, because they know this place. Good, Evan said. We made surprises for all 3 sides. Vora looked at him with soft pride. You are not afraid now? I am, he admitted, but not running. Vora touched his cheek gently with a single large finger. For that, I respect you. Evan smiled nervously. Then the drums stopped. The silence was worse. A deep voice echoed across the valley. Vora of the fallen clan. Come out. Evan felt the air grow heavy. Vora stepped forward, her giant body calm but ready. That is Korgoth, she said. Their leader. He wants my death. And me? Evan whispered. Yes, Vora said. But he will not touch you. The shadows of the rival clan appeared, tall, strong, each holding heavy weapons made from bone and metal. Korgoth stood in the front, taller than Vora, with dark red lines painted across his face. He lifted his weapon. Give us the human, he shouted, and we will kill you quickly. Vora stepped forward, fearless. This human is under my protection. Korgoth laughed loudly. A human is nothing, a small creature. Weak, Vora growled. He is not weak. Evan stepped out beside her. Korgoth laughed even harder. He wants to fight? This insect. Evan looked up at him, his legs weak, but his eyes steady. He's not alone, Evan said. And we have surprises. Korgoth frowned. Vora whispered to Evan, now. Evan pressed the first trigger. A loud boom exploded on the left side of the hill. Fire rose into the air. 2 Titan warriors fell, screaming as their armor cracked. Korgoth spun around in shock. Evan pressed the second trigger. Another explosion. Metal fragments flew into the forest, knocking 3 more warriors off their feet. Vora yelled, fall back! Evan and Vora ran toward the bunker while the rival clan scrambled in panic. The traps had worked. Now they needed the final stage. The clan regrouped and charged toward the bunker. Vora stood at the entrance, blocking the doorway with her massive body. Evan stood beside her, clutching a broken metal pipe. Stay behind me, Vora said. No, Evan said firmly. We fight together. Vora looked down at him, pride glowing in her silver eyes. Then the battle began. Korgoth charged first, swinging a giant blade. Vora met his strike with a metal beam, the sound echoing like thunder. Sparks flew. The ground shook.